Hi, good afternoon. We're here with Rachel from Think Galapagos. How you doing, Rachel?
Yeah, all good here. Enjoying this amazing sunshine we've been having these last few
Yeah,
days.
it is very, very hot indeed. That's right. Got the fans going here. So, yeah, if you'd just like to introduce yourself in terms of telling us what you do, who you are, how long you've been doing it for, please.
Okay, so my name's Rachel Dex and I'm co-founder and managing director of Think Galapagos Limited. We are a specialist tour operator and we specialise in organising trips to Ecuador, the Galapagos and Peru. We're an owner-run business and we feel our real USP is providing a very unique personalised service. I mean, for most of our guests, it's the holiday of a lifetime and it's kind of a responsibility we take quite seriously. So we really
Definitely.
work with our clients to make sure we give them the best possible experience on their trip.
Brilliant. And how long have you been running?
So over 20 years now we've been doing that. Yeah. So I mean, I lived out there in Ecuador and Galapagos for years and we started doing trips then. And then I moved back to the UK back in, I think something like 2006, 2007. And that's when we formally set up Think Galapagos as a limited company here in the UK, but we'd been started to do trips already when I was based out in Ecuador.
Cool. That's good stuff. So 20 years then, COVID, the last couple of years. What was the biggest impact for you guys?
Incredibly challenging. Basically, business stopped overnight. As it did for lots of business, but I think the travel sector in particular was really, really hard hit. And we kind of didn't come out of it because Ecuador remained on the red list right up until the end. So for our UK clients, it just went on and the uncertainty was really tough. So it was a really tough few years, to be honest. Not only the lack of new business coming through the door, but that kind of rescheduling client trips and then rescheduling them again. Fortunately, a really nice thing to come out of it. Our guests are really lovely and all of them were very flexible and supportive in rescheduling the trips instead of demanding a full refund, which would have been terrible because we'd paid for the yachts, we'd paid our suppliers in South America. So had they exercised that right, it would have been incredibly difficult for us. But they were all very kind of collaborative and understanding because I guess that's the nice thing about when you get to know your clients. They also saw that we were kind of a human face of the business and they were very on that. Really
the
really
importance of customer relationships coming into play for you.
Absolutely. And another thing that kind of came out of COVID, we're very much destination specialists, and I guess when things happen you think about possibly diversifying and how you do it. So we didn't diversify. I mean, we don't want to diversify our product. We're very much kind of product specialists. But what we did decide to do, and which proved to be a really good move, was diversify more our client base. So historically, most of our clients have been from the UK. Our US, Australian client base has been growing kind of almost accidentally over the years. And during the pandemic, we kind of took the decision to really focus proactively on trying to grow our international client base. And that proved to be really invaluable because the US market opened up way before the British market. So we had groups of American clients traveling 6-7 months before any British guests were able to travel at all. So that kind of diversification of our customer base that we took the active decision to do during the pandemic really paid off.
And is that something that you're going to be keeping then in terms of growing the business?
Yeah, definitely. So one of the things that we did during the pandemic as well was we relaunched our website, and we kind of specifically did websites targeted at the US, Canadian and Australian markets. So we'll definitely be looking to kind of expand this. I mean, the other great thing about having international clients is they pay in US dollars, and so you kind of one less headache in terms of currency instability, which in light of the political events of the last few weeks, the pound has kind of dropped again it's a real historical today, for example. So it's good from that point of view as well.
Great stuff. Yeah, there's speaking to businesses, there's obviously that immediate impact of, oh no, what's going to happen, but then there's quite a lot of stories of adaptation, changes, and then keeping those for the better, actually, in the long term. So it's great to see the kind of resilience and endeavour of people, and you know, when you're forced to make changes, what can actually happen, and positive outcomes from that. So that's good. So in terms of where you are now, what does the future look like, and what do you see as the main challenges going forward?
So in the future looks good, but there's a lot of pent-up demand out there. And in fact, one of the challenges we've got is finding spaces on the best yachts, because there's so much. So there's rescheduled bookings still, plus pent-up demand. So yeah, I mean, business is looking great. I guess one of the risks out there is another pandemic, is the thing happening again, that you kind of, at the back of my mind, I kind of have that kind of concern that it all happens.
Once it's happened once, it might happen again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. So if we were to kind of focus then a little bit on your journey as a business owner now, what is the biggest learning, if you can sort of give it one biggest learning, summarize it, that you've had since owning your travel business?
I think it's about, you're only as good as the people you work with. And what I found absolutely key to running a successful business is having great people around you. Yeah. And then trusting them to get on with the job, letting go, finding great people, and then letting them go and do what they're good at. Yeah, definitely. That's been stuff.
And then if we were to go back in time then and meet Rachel at 18, what would you say to Rachel as a best piece of advice?
Ooh, tricky one. I would say, I don't know, just enjoy. It goes so fast, like kind of passes really fast. And I think sometimes when you've got your own business, you worry sometimes when things are slow. So you kind of, instead of enjoying those slow times when you haven't got as many bookings coming through, you're kind of worrying and working to get new bookings. Actually, you know, just enjoy when it's a bit quiet, instead of worrying and getting more bookings in. Yeah.
Like it. Thank you. So at the moment, what inspires you currently? It could be like your team, the people that you work with, could be friends, family, or anything you're reading, listening to. If there's any inspiration you'd like to share?
I mean, one of the things that we've been working on during the pandemic is a side project with some communities in Colombia that have been really impacted by the civil war that they had there. They've got the peace, and we're working with them to help develop sustainable community tourism. They're in an area of amazing biodiversity. We're working with a great team, including Kew Gardens, and just their resilience and their energy and their enthusiasm to kind of make the project work. It's one of the favorite things that I'm doing right now, and I love kind of working with them. And in fact, after I've chatted with you, I've got a meeting with one of our guides in Colombia who's been out with the communities, training them on bird watching and learning more about the forest. So yeah, that's my favorite thing at the moment, and pretty
amazing. Sounds amazing. Good stuff. And then lastly, any sort of latest news around your business or promotional kind of activity you might want to mention?
Not really. I mean, it's we're just kind of doing what we've always done. We don't really do promotions as such. We kind of, people come to us if you're looking for an amazing holiday of a lifetime, and Galapagos has been high on your list. We just look and always find the best options for you at the time that you want to go. So we never have kind of offers as such. So we just keep doing what we're doing.
Specialists. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Rachel. It's been lovely talking to you. Most appreciated. And yeah, all the best for the next 20 years with Think Galapagos.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Take care.
Thank you.